He's been Entrepreneur of the Year, the Most Creative Person, Top 20 Entrepreneurs. He's received the Lifetime Achievement Award, the Medal of Honor, one is the top 50 philanthropists. Give it up for Naveen Jain.
I hear that right? You're the only person that's got the rights to harvest on the moon?
Sure.
Oh my God.
Guys, do me a favor, please get on your feet. Let's give it up. First and foremost, such an honor for you to be here at Sacred Knot. Thank you for making the time to grace our presence and to fill us in on all of the ventures that you have going on.
Well, first of all, a great cause you always answer, so let's actually never say no to that.
So we want to talk about your experience. Obviously, you're a serial entrepreneur, very, very, very successful in what you have done and accomplished in your career. I want to talk first about your award-winning book, Moonshots, and then from there, I want to segue into a lot of the projects that you're working on. So for people who are not familiar, tell us about Moonshots.
Sure. So moonshots are these audacious goals that on the surface they're difficult if not impossible to do. And this really, mindset. The minute you believe something is impossible, it simply becomes impossible for you and no one else. Right? It's just your mindset determines what you can do. The day before any breakthrough is a crazy idea, and the day after the breakthrough, it's an obvious idea. It's like God, everyone knew that was going to happen. How many times every one of you, when you told someone you're going to do something, they look at you and say, you can never do that. That's a crazy idea. That will never work. Until you succeed, and those are the same people come back and say, I always told her she could do it, and that was something great. Right? That happens all the time. The mindset of scarcity is what allows us to actually inhibit us to do anything in life, because we believe that things are scarce. In fact, in this universe, there is nothing scarce. The most scarce resource on planet Earth are the curious mind, the people who believe everything is possible, the people who believe they are the ones who can solve their problem. And every one of us is capable of doing so. And I'm going to give you some of the thought process of what you go through. So one of the things I learned in my life is that you don't have to be an expert. In fact, the minute you become expert in anything, you become useless. You become incrementalist. The best you can be is 10% better than someone else, but you'll never be 10 times better than someone else. To do that, you have to come from outside the industry, to challenge the foundation of what every expert has taken for granted. In fact, if you look at any industry today, it's never disrupted from inside the industry. It is an outsider who comes in and challenges the industry and disrupts it. Look at the automotive industry. It's not a Ford, it's not a GM, it's a Tesla that disrupted the industry. You look at the hotel industry, it's being disrupted by Airbnb. You look at the taxi industry being disrupted by Uber. And you can go on and on and on. You look at the space. Today the space exploration is not done by aerospace industry. It's done by Richard Branson, it's done by Elon Musk, and you pick a name you want. It's all the guys who came from the internet. What is it about them? So the couple of things, interesting thing in life is, and I think Dhomonique would ask you if you want to ever talk about the personal life journey. And it occurred to me, the life journey is so simple. You never focus on making money, and everyone tells you that making money is important, and I can tell you that yes, it's good, but when you focus on making money, you will never do it. If you simply focus on things that improve people's lives, you make a lot of money. Yeah. Making money is a byproduct of building products or a service that improve people's lives. So if you can improve if you can do anything, Dhomonique, that improves 1 billion people's life, you can create a $100 billion or $500 billion company. But you don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to create a $100 billion company, what should I do? That never works. In fact, I'm too old to say that, but I'm going to say that. Making money is like having an orgasm. When you focus on it, you're never going to get it. So
So everybody in this room, we're all programmed from pretty much birth, from day one, right? We're told, don't do that, don't get hurt, be careful. And so we develop this persona that we are today. Limited beliefs, scarcity mentality, victimhood mentality. So how do we overcome this, right? It's a lot easier said than done. When we actionable steps, what should we do?
it's the easiest thing to do. Fall in love with yourself. The day you fall in love with you is the day the world will fall in love with you. Right? So you have to first believe in yourself. And when you say fall in love, I don't mean become self-conceited like Trump. Right? I mean is you don't look for someone else's approval to do the things that you want to do. The day you say, I don't really care what someone else tells me, it's just an opinion of themselves. I don't really care about what they say I can or cannot do. Only I determine what I can or cannot do. My happiness doesn't come from someone else or something else. My happiness comes from inside me. When I find that happiness, I could be sitting in a dark corner and still be happy. And when I don't feel happy about myself, I could be in paradise and still be unhappy. So,
I'm so intrigued by your mindset, the way that you think differently. Obviously, when people are incredibly successful, and that is you think differently. So I have to ask, have you always thought this way, or did something happen in your life that you
look, like any immigrant, I grew up very poor. We didn't have food to eat, we didn't have a place to stay. But there's something about our family which was simple. Our love for you is unconditional, but our approval is not. And what that meant was, do the things you set out to do and make us proud. Not go out and make money and make us proud. Go out and do the things that will make other people's life better, so that we will be proud of you, right? And when you do that, everything else falls in place. And what I realized very early days in life, because we didn't have a place to stay, we moved from village to village. And what that meant was the change becomes actually part of your life. The change does not matter anymore. You become comfortable with the change, which is what bothers a lot of people. And what I realized was that you have to accept and you have to expect that there are going to be ups and downs. So what I tell myself every day is, I am alive. And you know how I know I'm alive? I have a heartbeat. And what does a heartbeat look like? It goes up and down and up and down. And when it's smooth, you're dead. So when you're looking for a smooth life, you're looking for a life of a dead person. Always know these ups and downs tells you you're alive. And when you are down, all you have to do is hunker down, know the next beat is up. And when you're on the top of that beat, you never get too cocky because you know the winter is coming.
I want to segue now and talk about buying. Obviously, you're revolutionizing and changing the world. So talk to us about buying.
Yeah, so essentially, my previous company, as you know, was Moon Express, going to the moon and really looking at creating a multi-planetary society. And the reason is very simple. There's 7.4 billion of us living on this planet. If one day our planet gets damaged, the whole species is going to get wiped out. But we as humans are so egotistic. We think I am so worried about our planet. Ask the planet and the planet will tell you, don't worry about me, worry about yourself and your species. Right? When last time the planet got hit by a large asteroid, you know who was roaming the earth? Dinosaurs. All the dinosaur species that were substantially larger than us, they got wiped out. And the planet did just fine. In fact, it created human species. Right? When we get wiped out, it's going to create a super human species. It doesn't care. The thing we need to worry about is if we don't worry about ourselves, we need to be on other planets, Moon, Mars, beyond our solar system into a different solar system in our galaxy, beyond our galaxy into a different see, why spoke this space when there are so many problems on planet Earth? And the answer is a scarcity mindset tells you either you can do this or you can do this. Answer and abundance is you can do this and you can do that. Right? And my answer was let's solve it. So my biggest problem I saw was that we all 7.4 billion of us are suffering through chronic diseases in our lifetime. Whether it is diabetes, heart disease, cancer, depression, anxiety, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. An amazing thing is, we don't wake up one day, honey, I was out with the boys last night, I think I might have caught diabetes. I think I caught obesity. No, honey, you've been fat for a long time. The point I'm going to make is, these diseases are not something that happens overnight. They happen over a period of time. And what's really interesting is, I have no background in science, I have no background in medicine. And that means I am the most dangerous person this industry ever saw. Because I am looking at the problem in a way that no one ever thought. So while the whole industry was focused on one thing, which was, hey, I want to know about your genes, I want to know about your DNA, and that will help me solve the problem of what's happening inside you. I went back to my high school biology days and I'm thinking, wow, your DNA never changes. So if you look at my DNA today and I gain 100 pounds, my DNA is still the same. I get heart disease, my DNA hasn't changed. I become diabetic, my DNA hasn't changed. I get depression, anxiety, Parkinson's, or worse yet, I die. And after I die, you do my DNA test, and guess what? It still is the same. So imagine now, if DNA can't even tell you you're dead or alive, how can it tell you you're healthy or sick? So I went back and looked at my high school biology. If the DNA doesn't change, what changes? It says gene expression of RNA. So your genes don't change, but your gene expression is always changing. And my first reaction was, why the hell can't we just measure gene expression and find out what's making you sick? No one ever told me, no one has ever measured gene expression. So how are you going to do that? That is someone else's problem, we'll figure that out. But can we actually, if we can solve that problem, will we find a problem? They say, kind of. What is kind of? What else is there? Well, there's something called microbiome. Your body is full of these gut microbiome, oral microbiome. And it turns out, there are 100 trillion of them inside our body. They literally are all over us and they control everything that happens. They are the puppet master and we're simply the host. We are a container for these microbes, 100 trillion of them. They probably created us for their own benefit, right? So we can poop everywhere and spread them around, right? Simple mechanism. But the truth be told, if you just Google Parkinson's and microbiome, Alzheimer's and microbiome, depression and microbiome, cancer and microbiome, diabetes, every single disease is connected to the microbiome. And I'm thinking, what if we can find out not just who these people are, microbes, but what they're actually producing, we can solve the problem. And that is what got me to start Bio. 6 years ago, I started a company, didn't know what to do, how to do it, but I wasn't going to give up. I went through literally every single NASA center, every national lab, and finally found the technology at Los Alamos National Lab, where they were working on a biodefense project. We were trying to find out if we were the bad actor who had a bioweapon, how would we actually protect our citizens from that? They had to find out what these microbes are producing, what the genes are being expressed. And they spent 10 years, multi-billion dollar developing the technology. It took me 6 months to get an exclusive perpetual license for the technology. We started a company and amazing things happened. Now that I have a great idea and now I even have the technology at hand, and I'm going to give you something more about how I got it. These people told me there is no way they will ever license this technology to any private citizen because there's too much risk. If something goes wrong, they will lose their job, and if something goes right itself, it will still be the same. And you know how I actually sat down with them. I said, one day you might get old and you might have grandkids. And they may ask you, Grandpa, what were you doing? And you will tell them I was working at Los Alamos National Lab. What was your job? My job was to decide what technology get licensed to who and which will not. There was this guy who came to me and said he wanted to help the billions of people live without chronic diseases. I thought there was too much risk, so I told him no. Now that's the risk you have to live with when you're not through say, Dad, Grandpa, what kind of moron were you that you could not solve the problem for humanity? And that's the risk. If you're willing to look in the mirror every day and say, that's not worth to you, I don't know what your life is worth living anymore. And I will God take me for a second. He said, I will give it to you. Right? Once I did that, I called the head of IBM Watson and I said, I have the technology that can analyze the human body. I just need someone to develop the machine learning, artificial intelligence to tell me why people are getting sick. He said, that's the kind of project that's life-changing, that will become my legacy. And he quit the job and joined me. Right? The amazing thing happened is because you have this audacious idea to help 1 billion people live a better life. Guess what happens? The best and the brightest in the world want to work on the toughest problem. The best and the brightest who are successful want to create a legacy. So now you can build an amazing team around you. And what happens when you do that? You have a great idea and amazing team. Every venture capital wants to invest in you. What are you doing? Why is everyone coming and joining you? Well, I'm going to make illness optional. Well, we want to give you money. Right? And suddenly now you have access to all the money. And all that started because we decide among one individual. I am the guy who knows nothing about the science of medicine. I'm going to go out and solve this problem. Right? And guess what happens? 6 years later, now we have analyzed over 325,000 people. And here's what happens. Today, you can go to wine.com, not promoting, but we should. Go to VIOME. Well, Indians cannot pronounce the word V, so I always have to spell it. V as in Victor, IOME. Why would you name a company that you can pronounce? I love the name. V means life, O means science, science of life. So I love the name, I just couldn't pronounce it. I said, screw it, I just spell it. So you go to wine.com and you get a kit at home. You give us a touch of a spoon, few drops of your blood, and very soon we're adding the saliva. In return, what you get back is amazing. We tell you what your biological age is, your immune health, your gut health, your cellular health, your mitochondrial health, your heart health, your brain health. And then we tell you, don't eat broccoli because your sulfite production is too high, it's harming you. Spinach is not good for you because your oxalic acid production is too low. Your ammonia is too high, don't eat a lot of protein or take digestive enzymes with protein. And more than that, don't take vitamin D3 which you think is good for you, but don't do that because your uric acid lowering because your bile acid is too high. And then we tell you literally, here are the foods you should not eat and why. Here are the foods you should eat and here is why. And by the way, you do need 22 milligram of elderberry, you need 17 milligram of berberine. We tell you literally every vitamin you need, every herb, digestive enzymes, amino acids, probiotic, prebiotic. And guess what? If you want, we make those capsules for you only every month robotically. There's no pre-made stuff. We literally make those capsules and ship them to you. An amazing thing happened. People who do the test and follow the supplement, 4 months later we saw their diabetes came down by 30%, their depression came down by 36%, their IBS symptom came down by 40%. We are now able to diagnose, we got the FDA breakthrough device designation to detect stage 1, earliest stage 1, oral cancer, throat cancer, simply they split it at 2. It's called cancer detect. It's never been done. 95% specificity we can tell you have a cancer. And now we're working on that on breast cancer, pancreatic cancer, GI cancer, colon cancer. Having lost my own dad to pancreatic cancer and I couldn't save him, and I made him a promise, Dad, just because I couldn't save you doesn't mean I'm not going to save everyone else's dad, husband, or family member that they love. And that will be my mission and my contribution to humanity for doing so. And it doesn't mean that simply helping 1 billion people is my mission because I'm a philanthropic. That is because I'm a capitalist person. It's because that he was going to create a massive company. But guess what? He's going to do a massive company by helping 1 billion people live a disease-free life. And that's the life worth living every single day. You don't focus on making money. You focus on improving people's lives. diseases from happening. We can early diagnose them, and then we are finding a cure for the disease that has never been a cure. So we already licensed 2 drugs, GSK for vaccine against colorectal cancer and vaccine against autoimmune disease. There is no cure today, right? Autoimmune disease, if you have it, you have to take the biologics for the rest of your life. And these kind of diseases never been cured because pharma companies think about it, they want to keep you sick. If you have a chronic disease, you are a lifetime subscriber for them, right? In medical industrial complex, your hospital, everyone makes money when you are sick and no one makes money when you are healthy. So they have no interest in that. It's only someone who is coming from outside the industry saying we can solve this problem, right? Now, to answer your question, 6 years from now, if we have no diagnostic business and no therapeutic business, that would be the best day of my life because then we have prevented everyone from getting sick. So if my diagnostic business shuts down and our therapeutic business shuts down for 6 years, then we have actually achieved our mission to prevent from getting people from sick. And that's the happiest day of my life.
What's next for you, Dean? Outside of bio, what's next for you personally?
Honestly, to me, I'm 62 now. And by the way, by doing this test, my biological age has come down to 52 now. So I saved myself 10 years. Here's the best part. I'm absolutely hopeful that when I turn 70, my biological age will be down to 40. So everyone thinks I'm still a young man because I get to do more stuff now. Interestingly, it's not just the biological age. The energy I feel right now is more than I had when I was 15 years old. I run up the stairs, 2 stairs at a time. I am just at this point in the top of my game. And I really, so answer for me is next thing I'm going to do is, once I finish this, the world is never going to run out of problems. I'm thinking, can I fix education? The education system is another one that's obsolete and someone needs to rethink it. It's not about teaching children skills. It's about teaching them to learn. Learning to learn is the thing because no longer the skills matter. Because you can learn a skill on the internet today. You don't need to go to college. How do you learn? How do you solve problems, right? And this is the thing something needs to solve. And I really believe education should never be about taking the children to the water and making them drink. It's about making them thirsty so they can find their own water and drink. And how do you make them thirsty? Create the intellectual curiosity in them. Don't tell them there's one right answer. Tell them what are the ways you can solve this problem. So to me, creating the intellectual curiosity, and all 3 of our children, by the way, when they were young, instead of reading a bad time story, we'll ask them, what if this was possible, what would you do? How are you going to take these 3 objects that are completely unrelated and connect them in a story that is possible? And guess what happened? My oldest one is now running his 3rd unicorn, focusing on affordable housing. Our daughter is running a women's health company, by the way, everyone should go sign up. It's called Abby, EVVY. It's on women's health company using vaginal microbiome. And she's absolutely determined to solve the women's health problem. Her first company was using AI to do the gender bias and hiring for women. And now she's focused on women's health. Our youngest one is running a company on the fintech. 3 children, 3 great entrepreneurs pursuing their passion to improve people's lives. And if there is one thing that I will say, my legacy is not what I do, but leaving not just a great world for our children, but leaving the great children for this world.
I have 2 final questions for you. First question, for everybody out here today, because obviously we're all just like soaking up all the knowledge that you're dropping on us. What was the greatest lesson or the greatest quote that you have ever heard in your life that you live by?
But I think this is my own personal belief that says that the day people call you crazy is the day you start to think big. Right? So if people don't think you are crazy, then you're not thinking big enough. And never ever be afraid to fail because you only fail when you give up. Even if your idea does not work, it's simply a stepping stone to a different idea and a bigger idea. So entrepreneurs pivot and the human beings fail.
And my final question, what was the last thing that made you laugh?
Well, I tell you that every single day I find the life to be the biggest mentor for me. Life never stops teaching me, stop learning. So every day I think I amaze myself at how stupid that was when I started doing it, or anything hard that I could do that. So I laugh at myself all the time, thinking that I could have done what I did. And I said, you know what? That's what the life is, never take no for an answer. When I was sitting in a small village looking at the moon, and I thought, one thing I'm doing today is looking at an object on the space that even the richest man looks at exactly the same way that I do. So I must be the richest man.